Hey there, welcome in that new tutorial where we'll see how to use the sensor filters and the chops and the Golem attributes to assign one character to another, so pair two characters together. But compared to the previous video that we did on that matter, here we'll make sure that only one green character gets assigned to a blue character. Where we stopped the previous video was those three were assigned to that blue character, those three were assigned to that blue character. So here I just want one of those to be assigned to that blue character. So the scene I have here and the setup I have here are from the tutorial we did on that matter, which is called using sensors and chops to pair characters. So I'm just grabbing that scene where it was and increment it to just solve that new use case that we have. So what I'll do is, the whole principle here is whenever I'm gonna have a green character, it will look for a blue character which is not taken by another character, and the assigned character for each green character being assigned to a blue one. In the blue characters, we're gonna store who is the green one being assigned to it. So what I'll start doing here is I'm going to create a new attribute on my blue characters, which I'm going to call is taken by. So let's write this, is taken by, which will be a int value, and I'm going to store, and let's say is taken by ID. So it's going to store the ID of the green character, which is assigned to that blue character, and vice versa. So I'm going to make sure to provide some value not being available as a default value. So here I'm saying default value is going to be -1 there. So it means that now when we start the simulation, we've got a is taken by attribute on that blue character being initiated at -1, right? So let's move into the sensor here of that character. So the sensor for the green characters is going to be into my Golaem environment group. So I've got my sensor green character. So what we would like to add as a filter is going to be an attribute filter, right? So sort by distance. Yeah, let's just add a new filter here. So I'm going to ask for a Golaem attribute filter. So let's add this one. And we want the value is taken by, so let's remove this to be, so let's write the exact same thing here, is taken by ID. I probably have to copy this for the next time because I may have to use it. So what we'd like to have is we just want to have blue characters having a value of this attribute being equal to -1, right? Here we go. So if we run that simulation now, we can see each and every single character can see that blue character here. Let's say we change that value of 7001 and put like a 0 within it, and run the sim. We can see now that it's not, that character gets filtered out, and now we can only see one character. Great. Here I was lucky, I just throw one frame, but the sensors, they've got an update detection period time, which is every 6 frames. So you may have to run a couple of more frames to see exactly the same result than the one I did. So here we go. I would just rename the sim. My character gets assigned with a -1 value, so we're good. So, okay. This is the first use case. So we want to detect characters which are not taken by. So that blue character for the moment is not taken by, so it has a value of -1. So next step here is would like now to say on the blue character that as soon as they can perceive a green character which has their ID being stored into the ID section. So if we run the sim here for a couple of frames, we'll notice that now every single green character gets assigned with a blue entity ID, either 8001 or 7001, which depends of the closest they are. So what we'd like to see, what we would like to do is write out into the is taken by the attribute, the ID, sorry, of the green character, which contains their own ID within it. So let's say that character here is connected, well, it's not connected, but free green character gets his ID being stored. So I want to pick one of those and write this into my is taken by Golaem attribute there. So I'll start having a pair here, right? So let's do this. I probably should have done that before adding that rule, but whatever, still the same, right? So what we'll do here is we're gonna go into the sensor blue there. So we're gonna only filter. So this is my sensor blue. It's filtering my characters by looking at only the type, and and we're already doing this. So we're looking if this attribute target entity ID is equals to GLM ID. So I expect that those guys now can see only the green characters that they are connected to. So that's great. So excellent. So what we'll do is we're gonna read probably the first ID we can find in the list. So here they're sorted by alphabetical order, but we can just sort by distance or whatsoever. Let's say that alphabetical order is fine with us. So we're gonna add a chop node and chop operator on my blue character. So we've got an activate sensor. So let's add a chop operator behavior here. Okay. Let's add a new entry into that chop operator behavior, which is already there. And let's expand this. So what we'll do is we're gonna write out into a Golaem attribute called is taken by ID. We're gonna write out the name of the first object ID we can find. So this is exactly what we did on the other side there. So I'm gonna write activate sensor shape. I probably have to replace the name here. That's sensor shape 1. So I'll just copy paste the name of that behavior there and write it out. Great. Okay. So let's see what we get. So now we can perceive still the free characters, and now we're writing out into that array the index of the actual green entity. So remember, we took the first one in the alphabetical list that we had. So here we're writing 2001 for that first entity and 8001 for that other entity. If we were looking at this one here, we are filtering with an attribute of -1. Okay, so now we can see that the characters at some point they disappear from here, because remember in the filter that we set on the green character, we said we want blue entity types sort by distance with a Golaem attribute of value -1. So here the is taken by ID is not of -1 anymore, so they get filtered out at some point after the sensor been running the right detection period that we've been fixing here. So what we'd like to do is now improve that sensor and say, okay, I want to filter entity type blue sort by distance, and I want them to be either -1, which means they're not assigned to anybody, or they contain my own ID value. They're connected with me. So this guy, for example, is connected to entity 3001 for some reason. And this one is connected to no one anymore because they cleared out. So this is what we want to do. We want to say, or we contain, here we go, let's have the or operator. Type of filter does not, okay, I need to put it on here. So or there. And I probably need to provide another Golaem attribute there, here. So is that the right way of doing this? I haven't done that for a while, so okay. If it says not the right way, it's probably this way. So here we're saying we want the Golaem attribute is taken by ID being value of -1, or we want it to be the value of GID, which is the keyword to just express my own ID, right? So let's run the same for a couple of frames there. Golaem attribute filter does not accept any operand. So let's see what we get. And I guess I made a mistake because... Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I know what I did. It's not the right way of using this. So I need to put the OR operator first, then provide a Golaem attribute filter, add it in it, so now it goes below, and create another one. Let's rewrite this out. Is taken ID as either value -1, or is taken ID is value GID. Okay, nearly there. So let's run the sum now. So, okay, now we expect this, right? Here we're reading, so we have to wait a couple of frames for this to instantiate and run properly, because those gets assigned with value, those gets assigned with value, and this detection period of 6 frames. So we have to wait a couple of frames. We can just decrease the detection period if you'd like to, but at the moment what we can fill is 2 entities being available, because probably they've got a value of -1. So every single green entity gets assigned with a blue entity, so far so good. Then we can see that those blue entity gets assigned with the closest green entity, what the first in the alphabetical list, sorry about that, in what they can perceive. So now we have to probably update this at some point, and here we go. So that gets assigned to -1, and here we go. So now we've been running this for a couple of frames. We can see that 7001 gets connected to 2001, 2001 gets connected to 7001, 8001 gets connected to 1001, 1001 gets connected to 8001. So now we've got a mechanism where we've been assigned one green entity to a blue entity and vice versa, and the other green entities not being assigned, they are now available to search for someone else. If I was about to add the more blue entities, they would just connect to those blue entities based on their sensors and the distance we've been defining into the cylinders. So this is kind of advanced stuff. So well done if you being able to follow this and understand that, and see you into the next video.